All right, it's the 19th of August. We've got about 25 minutes to the NY Open. A second. Okay, let's start with the calendar. Today is Tuesday. There is no news. This is a non-news week. None of these news events are important. But because it's a low volume week, right? It's very, very, very likely going to be a low volume week. Because of that, these news events may bring in a little volume, right? So, for example, if your 30-minute candles uh, or your 15-minute candles, let's say your 15-minute candles are averaging about 25, 30 pips at New York Open, these news events during the New York session, which is especially on Thursday and then maybe on Friday as well, you can have about a 50, 60, 70 pip, 15-minute candle just during those news events, right? But overall, it's a non-news week and it's going to be a low volume week, right? You can just see by the daily candles. You'll just see by the daily candles the volume in the week, right? And then next week is also a non-news week. There is nothing, and then the week after that is the first week of September, and that is obviously there's a bank holiday on Monday, and then NFP falls on the first Friday of every month. So this week and the next week are going to be low volume weeks, right? So if you are trading, so if you have some sort of a range trading system, uh, could be based off support resistance, could be based off supply demand, could be based off any kind of system that is able to trade a range, even if it's a fully automated system. These are the 2 weeks to trade them, this week and next week. You'll probably see very good results if you have a range trading system. All right. Um, Second. Okay. Mhm, mhm, mhm. All right. Let's take a look at the weekly time frame. Weekly closed bearish last week, closed below 3350. We spoke about this yesterday. I'm going to repeat everything that I said yesterday on the high time frame. We are very likely heading towards 3300. We rejected 3400. We're heading towards 3300. Why is that? Because the last time price got to 3400, pushed straight down to 3300, right? In a single week. We're not going to get that this time. We've already had a weekly candle close under 3400 and under 3350. So we are very likely heading towards 3300. This is very likely a pullback on the weekly to create the top wick and then to continue to push down for the rest of the week. It's not too far away. It's just about 420 pips away. It's not a lot of distance to cover. If it is a high volume week like NFP week, CPI week, interest rate decision week, retail sales week, any one of these weeks, this can be a single daily candle. 400, 500 pips is usually a single daily candle. But because it's a low volume week, we might have a 500 pip or 450, 500 pip, 550 pip weekly candle, right? So this is very likely the pullback to create the top wick on the weekly before price starts heading down. Now, it might happen today, it might happen over the next 2 to 3 days, right? Let's take a look at the time. Let's take a look at the daily time frame. Yeah, so we are bearish on the weekly. We are bearish, right? Because we've closed below 3400 and pushed down, and this is a bearish rejection. This is a a bearish engulfing candle to this candle right here. There's a bearish engulfing weekly candle. And on the daily, we've created a daily supply zone, a drop, base drop, right? And we've tapped that and we're already pushing down. So I'm anticipating price to pull back up, grab liquidity, continue down, right? Clean space to the left. That's the move I'm anticipating. Now we were expecting that yesterday, didn't happen. It did happen, but it didn't come to the entry that I was hoping for, right? So weekly is bearish, daily is bearish. Let's look at the 4 hour. 4 hour is ranging. There's nothing happening on the 4 hour. We're going sideways. We're going to probably draw support resistance levels on the 4 hour and see where price is. Look at the range. On the 1 hour, again, we're just very slowly compressing to push up, but price should be coming down on the high time frames, right? Okay, let's go to our trading chart. Yeah, so this is where we left off yesterday. I was expecting a pullback here above these wicks, entry to enter around the liquidity candle, stops above that, there or there, about a 50, 60 pip stop loss at the most, and then manage risk if you go in drawdown. I was anticipating a pullback in the NY session before price head down, but that never happened. Price just opened here. This is the NY open. Yeah, that's the NY open. We opened and then the next candle broke the low and just continued all the way down, right? 130 pips. Not a big move, but it continued to the liquidity candle, right? Now we've tapped the liquidity candle. We've in fact gone through the liquidity candle. Price should be heading down, right? As I said, so that's the move I'm going to be looking for, a sell. Just like yesterday, I'm going to be looking for sells, right? Right, let's get rid of all of these. These were the TP levels that were given: 33.41, 33.36, 33.32, 33.27, and it hit all of them. Unfortunately, price didn't pull back to entry. I was expecting anywhere 33.50 or above to take entries. Didn't come. It came close. Uh, and the reason I was expecting that is because I'm a pullback trader. I want price to pull back before I take any sells or buys, right? But if you're a breakout trader, then you could have taken the break of this 30-minute back candle low, and then you would have been in profit. And price did come to all the TP levels, and to the pip, we came to 33.27, tapped this and pushed up. If you were here on the streams, you'd have seen all these levels being drawn yesterday. Okay, get rid of all of these. Okay, all right, let's go to work. Just a second. Just a second. Mhm. Okay, all right, take a look at this. We have a rally, a base, and a drop. I'm going to include that there. Yeah, rally, two base in candles, and a drop. Okay, What's this? 840, 678. For supply. Let's relook at this liquidity candle later on. The size 840. Okay, in terms of demand, we had this drop based rally here. Now prices come deep into this. Let's take a look at this. Let's get rid of the liquidity candle as well. Prices cut through this. It's a 104 pip zone. We've come 80 pips, 81 pips. It's no longer a high liquidity zone because we've crossed the 50% mark. Let's take a look at this area because because price has bounced off of weekly SR levels. You have to take a look at it on the lower time frame to find the right zone. Yeah, I'll bring it here. This close 357. Okay. Send this to the right. Maybe for tomorrow. I don't think price is going to drop that far down today. You never know, 300 pips is possible. But as I said, it's a low volume week. So you got to be very conservative with your TP levels. Try not to hold runners. Take 60-70% off at your first TP and maybe another another 70-80% off of the rest of your position at your second TP level. All right, that's good enough. Covered about 250 pips to the upside and 450 yards. That's plenty. All right, now let's take a look at this area. Price is heading here. Let's take a look at this area. It is a high liquidity zone. Let's try to identify this is not a high liquidity zone anymore. We remove the label here. So that's done. Let's see if we have a high liquidity candle in here. Start at the one with the 1 hour time frame. We're looking for the largest bearish candle in the zone or left of the zone. That is 120 pips. Quite a few big candles here. 160, 226. Yeah, let's get rid of this also. We can redo all of this. That covers everything. 227. Let's start there. Take a look at the 30-minute time frame. Yeah, good candle. 15-minute time frame. 104 pips. Zero 09. That's the one. 5-minute. Seven oh two 612. Okay. So we're very close to the liquidity candle. We haven't tapped it in the London session. We're very likely coming up to tap it. Fine. Okay. Yeah. Mm. Quite a few candles there. Let's see what happens. Let's take a look at the zone above. The 30-minute. Really nothing on the 30 minutes. Nothing on the 15 either. Two 69852. 56. 374808. Yeah, that's the one. Okay, done. Got to also keep in mind that this is August, right? It's summer uh, in Europe and the US, so volume does tend to die down. You'll have smaller daily candles. Um, the current day average daily range, 3-day average daily range is around 320 pips, right? That figure right there. Look at the daily time frame. You can see how candles are getting smaller. Last Friday, you had a 160 pip candle. It's not seen in a very long time, right? Even these candles, though they were small, 200 pips, over 200 pips, 250 pips, right? That was after a really long time did we see such a little volume on gold, 260 pips. And it wasn't a US bank holiday either, right? 240. So this was very low, 160, 165. Volume is dying down. All right, let's take a look at this area and see if we have a liquidity candle in here. Start with the 1 hour. There is this large candle. It's outside the zone, still outside the zone. This one is outside the zone too. Go to the 15-minute time frame. Yeah, that's better. 83 pips. 41. Yeah, we'll have to go with the 15-minute. Tap there. This 15-minute candle. We've gone through it. So it's very likely going to go through it. But I'm going to keep it there anyway. 504674. 504674. And the reason I'm keeping it is because we are trading above it, right? So anticipating price to slow down here. Come here, slow down. I want to take a sell from here, further up here. That's why I want to take a sell. All right, done. That's the analysis, right? Right on time. We got about a minute for the NY Open. Let's take a quick look at what price has done in the Asian and London sessions on the 15-minute time frame already. Let's see where the market opened. We open right here. This is the market open. We opened at 33.34. Right, 33.34. Let's draw the Asian highs and lows. Seems like that's the Asian high. Yeah, good enough, I think. 608. Nine. Okay, right. Let's take a closer look at what price has done in the Asian and London sessions. Okay, the market opened here, opened inside the liquidity candle. We had 33, 32 weekly SR just there, tapped it, pushed straight down, went through it. That's a good sign that price is going to be heading down at some point. Gone through the liquidity candle. Maybe today, maybe tomorrow, right? Or maybe even day after. We're having a very low volume. So it could be later in the week as well, but we're very likely going to push down. And that's a trade that I want to take all the way coming down to 3,300, right? That's a trade I want to be a part of. I don't mind missing these small moves up and down, but I want to be a part of that big move down. Um, Second. All right, so we created the Asian low, we rejected, pushed back up to the EMAs, rejected, came down, tapped the liquidity candle, tapped 33.32, went all the way up, created the Asian high. We formed 30-minute support here. We did form 30-minute support, then pushed up 30-minute support from the liquidity candle. So that's a good Asian session trade to take. Um, yeah, pushed up, created the Asian high, rejected, came back down to tap the liquidity candle once more, pushed back up, came once more, tapped the liquidity candle again, created the London low, pushed back up, tapped the Asian high, broke above it, created the London high, pushed back to the middle of it and just ranged, and then closed above. 30-minute candle closed above, and the next candle closed back inside. What's this candle close? 172. What is this high? 176. What is this high? 163. Yeah, so we closed back inside. Next candle broke the low, seemed to be coming down, rejecting and coming down. Just a second. Yeah. 33.29.89. Boom. Let's mark that level. 33.29.89. This is the previous weekly low. This is previous weekly low. Yeah, this one here. This is Friday. This is Monday. This is Tuesday. This is where Friday candle closed the doji, stayed inside the weekly range. This is the weekly low, previous weekly low. Now, once we break below that, we're heading down. Once we close the 30-minute candle below that, we're pushing down. That's the reason I marked that there. I would really like to see candle price push up. Don't want to chase price here. Tap the liquidity candle already though. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, we're coming up, very likely coming up. Just moved 190 pips today. There's no volume. We are pushing up though. Let's see. Again, I'm not interested in taking these small moves up and down. I want to be a part of this big move. I hope price comes to this area to take an entry to go down. Yeah. Mm, yeah, it could be coming down already. If that's the case, that's okay. Gonna miss it. This candle tapped the liquidity candle yesterday in Y session. This one broke the low. Tapped the optimal. We're coming down to this. Then we'll come down to the 3RR. This 33.32. Yeah, I don't want to take a buy here. We're very bearish. Weekly is bearish. Daily is bearish. 4 hour is sideways. And 1 hour is bearish. Kind of bearish. Not really. I mean, there's no real. It's tapped a supply zone here. Drop all these basing candles on a drop. We've tapped it. Could be coming down. Yeah, I'm not going to chase price. If we come back up here, 60, 70 pips, I'll look to take a sell maybe. I'm not going to chase price. Yeah, the move's already started. I want price to push up at least 60, 70 pips, and then maybe look to take a sell. Other than that, no, nothing. Okay. No volume as usual. Yeah, 37 pip candle. So far 30 pips. We should be, once we close above, we should be good to push up. Hmm. One tapped and pushed up. If we come here, I might consider taking a buy if we come here to go back up. If we come here. This candle tapped 33.32 and the previous weekly low, rejected, closed above. This one broke the high. And then, yeah, if we come here. Hmm, maybe. 815, low 945. 15, 945. 39 pips away? Yeah, we could. We could come down. We could get a push up. Very possible. Very possible. Okay, let's draw some support resistance levels while we wait. Nothing to do anyway. Then maybe after that I'll end the stream. But I'm watching this area. Possible buys. Okay. Just ugly. Yeah, that's good. London, Asian, below this, 74. Hmm. Yeah, that's support resistance. So if you look at the 4-hour time frame, that's what's happening. Just bouncing off these levels. Came down here, tapped it, came down here, tapped it. Extend these to the right, in fact. Yeah, yeah, perfect. Perfect. Those are the SR levels, right? Now, let's go to the 1-hour time frame. Take a closer look at this. What's this? 30, 24.5. Twenty-six. That's better. Nothing's happening. Just look at the 50-minute time frame very quickly. 39 pips. No volume. Needs to cross 45, 50 pips to see volume coming. We are pushing down though. Now I'm eyeing this area. I'm going to explain why. Why am I in this area? There's a lot of compression here. Price should come down. Um, we have rejected this area twice, right? The support level. We close below the Asian high and London high. We should be heading down here. I'm going to be watching this area all the way down to the Asian low between this 33.32 and the Asian low, that 50 to 655, 60 pip range. I'm going to be watching that area to take buys to go up, right? I'm going to be watching that area. Now, the reason for that is we have created a liquidity wick on the 4-hour. We've respected the low and we're trying to push up. You got to remember that we're in a range here. All right, we're ranging between. So I'm looking to trade from the bottom of the range to the top of the range, right? These are all levels in between, support resistance levels, almost equal levels in between. I'm looking for this level, this area, 50, 55 pip level, for price to drop there. We are not too far from it. We're about 50 pips away from it. Once we start dropping down, I'll look to start taking buys, open positions for price to push up, right? We are not, we are very unlikely the price is going to go through this. As I said, this is a low volume week. So this is how you play the range. You draw your support resistance levels based on the 30-minute time frame or the 1-hour time frame, whichever you're comfortable with, and then watch price when it gets to those areas, right? So it came here, there's a level here, we tapped it, pushed up all the way up there. We came here, we pushed up there. We came again here, we pushed up here. We haven't reached that yet, right? Very likely price is going to head up there. I want to be able to take the buys for price to go up there because the sells, overall sells up from up here. I'm anticipating sells from up here to continue down. Yeah, that's the plan. I'm going to be looking for these buys to go up here, right? From under this low, what is this? The London low? Yeah, from under this low. Under that low is liquidity from here onwards. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to place pending orders here. It's close, it's 357. $96, make it 95. Yeah, mm, yeah, they're coming down. Broke on the low. Yeah. Mm. Yeah, I'm waiting for down here. If it doesn't come there, it's fine. And pushes up, that's okay. But I'm waiting for below the London low price to come down there. I don't think we're coming this further down. Not going to happen. Could push up from here. Very likely could just push up from here. But I'm waiting further down. All right. That's the plan. Stop loss may be under this candle. It's a little bit wide. It's about 70, 75 pips. But we find places to manage risk. These are support resistance levels right here. Right? Not a problem. There. That's a good level to manage risk. 28 pip stop loss. We have a 15-minute candle close below that level, below 33.30, 30, 33.31, 33.31. Can manage risk. And then 33.29. Okay, let's see. I'm waiting for price to come down here to push up. Okay, it's very slow. So I'm going to end the stream now. I'm looking for buys to push back up, right? Now, let's see if it does. There's enough volume for price to come back, grab liquidity, and then continue to push up. I don't know. It might not have a lot of volume today, yeah, just like yesterday. But if it does, then let's see how far it gets up to. I'm going to manage risk on this trade here. That's why I'm going to manage risk on the trade. So about 25, 20, 25 pips. And then yeah, 27. Yeah, 30 is better. 30 is better. Yeah, 30 is better. 30 pip stop loss. 30 pip stop loss. That's good. 30 is better. That's why I'm going to manage risk. And then close probably 50, 60% if price comes and breaks this low, or 15-minute candle closes below this, below 33.30. And the next one would be 26. That's right at the bottom. Yeah, 26 is your hard stop loss. But here's where I'm going to manage risk, 33.30. Okay. TP levels, 42, 42, 46, and then 50. Right? Very conservative. 85 pips, 125, 165. Right? Let's see. Price is coming down. That's why I'm managing risk. These are the entries. These are TP levels. 33.42, 46, 33.50. Okay. Let's see what happens. All right. Okay. That's the end of the stream. I'll be back tomorrow, 7:30 a.m. EST, and we'll see if you have any trades for the first couple of hours of the NY session. Right. It's been quiet. Expected to be quiet because this is August, the summer month, and also this is a non-news week. This week and next week is a non-news week. I explained all of that right at the beginning of the stream. All right. See you guys tomorrow, 7:30 a.m. EST. We'll come back tomorrow and see if this trade played out. Right. If the buys played out to push up. Yeah. Okay. See you guys tomorrow.